Someone asked me the question, why is everyone going crazy about Rabbi Shimon? If you have a look, he's the Talmud of Rabbi Akiva, so we should all be jumping up and down about Rabbi Akiva, not Rabbi Shimon. I didn't really like the question because there's an idea which I've heard in general people are saying is that you're just the Talmud of your Rebbe, which kind of just discounts entire individuality, and that really all the person is doing is just handing over information, and you're just taking that information and handing it over again. The answer I gave him was that it's the expression of what's coming in through that person. So, for example, if you have the white, that's all the gamuts of all the color, and then you put through the prism, then you get all the colors come out of it. So, red's my favorite color, but red's in white. Why don't you love white? It doesn't really make any sense because it's the expression of that koyach. Of that koyach is what is exciting or what you like. It's not the koyach itself that's entertaining or that grabs you. I didn't like my answer, but what I would say to him, but I don't know if he'd really. I'm not really in the sugya with him. I'm pretty sure we've spoken before about Mamalakolam and Soivikolam and how the divine energy interacts in this world, and there's two kind of methods in which it does it. So there's two types of information which you get. I found when I first got to Israel, I would be driving around, and I'd have this road map I'd keep in my car, and you get lost everywhere. And you're stuck on the side of the road, and you pulled over, and you're looking at the map and trying to work out, where am I, where was I, what did I do, how do I get back to where am I even going? So today, obviously, that's just stupid. You just put your stuff into Waze, and you just do turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, go straight. So although you're getting what you want, you've no idea where you were, where anything is in relation to anything. And how many times where we're in a place that's like right next door to something, and the guys that are there have no idea because they've just got their own way, so they just don't know where they are, and they've no concept of there's no internalization of the map, no idea what's going on, but yet they're able to get places. So Waze says turn left, and I've had an experience where it's taking me down all these streets. I'm like, I hope you know what you're doing. But this doesn't feel right, and it got me where I was going to. So there's no internalization of the information there. Just take a left here. I don't know. That's what you're saying. I don't get it. But there's another way to understand. Another way to get. If you're going to class to see you want to become a doctor, you want to become a skilled person. You gotta understand what's going on, and there has to be a certain Kabbalah of the information that's being given over. And if someone's oh no, some. Chafetz Chashud or something.
אל תרד.
לא, זה שם. זה את השם שם. So there's a way of understanding that's where, again, if someone's trying to explain something to you, you're trying to understand an idea, you're going to have to understand it, and if you don't get it, you don't get it, and then it doesn't help. So it's like, I don't know, if you're trying to learn something about the brain because you're doing brain surgery, you just didn't understand what they were talking about in like some class, and then you open up some guy's head and you just see the brain there, and you're like, yeah, I didn't really get this. It was like something like you stick your finger here and then the leg goes up or something. I mean, like, it doesn't really help. You're not really going to help the guy because he didn't understand it. He didn't get it. So even though the professor or whoever who's given it over understood it, because you didn't get it yourself, you didn't understand it. So then it's not going to help you on your goal to be this expert. And what the expert really is the internalization of the information, that you take the information and that you make yours. The reasons they say that Einstein was so great is because he mastered everything before him and then went weiter. So there's so he can't master the stuff if he doesn't get it, if he doesn't internalize it. It can't just be information like turn right and turn left. So once you get it, once you get the concept, once you understand the concept, so therefore you're able to digest it, as it were, take it into your body. When you eat an apple, your body digests the apple. What does that mean? It means that it basically, the apple becomes part of you, and it's now, you wouldn't really call it an apple anymore, as you have internalized it and digested it. So it's really become yours, and it's become you, and it's part of the apple, goes to build your skin cells. If anyone actually knows any science and I'm wrong, like whatever, something along those lines. When you take the information and then you understand it yourself, so then that's become yours. It's not that your Rebbe, it's not now that you have your Rebbe's information and now you can tell somebody else is your Rebbe's information. It's that your Rebbe has explained the point to you. Now you have the point, you get it. So now you can put your own personal spin on that point because it's yours. You've digested it, you've identified it, so you get it, you see the picture. You're the what's his name, Neo at the end of The Matrix. Like, oh yeah, I get it now. So when it's like that, you don't need to give it over the same way that your Rav, all your Rav did was enable you to see the picture. Now you see the picture, you can tell other people the picture in your own way, in your own individual way. So again, I've personally had there's a specific Rav who I didn't really get on with or like, and I'm like a big fan of some of his Talmidim, and I was like very surprised when one Rav said to me that he was his Rav when he was younger, and I'm like, but like, you're good and he isn't. But what the Talmud does is that he takes what the Rav gives him and he internalizes it and individualizes it. And since everyone's going to like different things, there's no favorite food in the world. Everybody has their own taste. Everyone has their own individuality. Everyone has their own preferences. So too with everything that is to be individualized. I don't people like, have my favorite ways, directions or something. It's just like I just do what it's told. I don't really care. I'm not digesting what it is. If I understand the map, if I know where to go, then I can have my favorite way to get from A to B. But if I'm just trying to get to B, I don't know where I am, so I don't have a favorite way. I'm just doing what it's saying. I don't really care. So it's all staying on the outside. And then if someone asks me, how do you get from A to B, I'll just tell them back over what Waze has told me. So therefore you have this kind of what people are saying like a Rav, that like their Talmud is just exactly the same as a Rav. So that's all on the level of Soiviv, that's all on the level of non-internalization, where you're not actually trying to understand anything, you're just taking the information and then passing on the information. So there you can say, oh, Waze is my Rav, and therefore I'll tell you, you go left, right, left, right. So there's no individualization, there's no internalization, it's going to come from me, b'chal. However, when it's information, that's all on the level of Soviv, where it doesn't enter the individual and it goes on a klalistic level. And again, left, right, for everybody is going to get them from A to B. But on a level of internalizing the information, making the information yours, making that, and that's the mamali. So that's basically a creation or a interaction of the divine energy on a very personal level. So if there's a vort, and the way that one person hears the vort, the way the other person hears the vort is completely different. And that's one of the reasons you have Maklokusim in Gemara as to what did Rabbi Yochanan say. You have two different Talmidim of Rabbi Yochanan, and they argue on what the sheet of Rabbi Yochanan is, and they both are the same shear, because the way that it's internalized and individualized in that person is completely different for everyone, or for different people. So just like the food which you eat creates different people. This guy's thin, this guy's fat, this guy's healthy, this guy is what's it called, tifo, thin on the tofi, thin on the outside, fat on the inside. That this guy's his diet, no two diets are the same. There's no mitzvah to eat a certain diet. There's foods that are kosher and foods that aren't, that you can't eat, and anything else you can basically do whatever you want. Although probably eating sugar or added sugar is clearly poisonous. So the stamina, that's usher. But But there is, for example, a mitzvah of putting a black box, and it has to be black, and you can't have it brown. I like brown. Well, you can't have brown because the mitzvah is black and tough, and there's a shear of your talus gadol, and everything is like so. So when it comes to the mitzvah, there's one rule. There's no internalization and individuality in the in the in the in the tefillin. Bar mitzvah. Well, I feel very immature, so I'm going to become bar mitzvah when I'm 15. Or I want equality with women, so I'm going to make my bar mitzvah when I'm 12. It's not that choice, because this isn't a mamale activity. The mitzvahs are touching a point, an even higher relationship with Hashem, or a higher divine energy, of where your individuality is kind of taken out of the picture, whereas Torah is to be individualized, and therefore you have to understand it yourself. Therefore, it's on the level of mamale. So, therefore, to say that Rabbi Shimon is just a reflection of Rabbi Akiva is just a dismissing of the whole concept of mamale, the whole concept of individualization, the whole concept of internalizing Torah. So, see, they say that. Good leaders create followers, and great leaders create leaders, or something like that. So that if you have a leader, so he tells people what to think, so they think it because he said it. So they're not really able to relay these information. They can't get into a debate with somebody else because they never internalized that information. So it stays on the level of Soiviv. You have a great leader, so then everyone else has internalized the information. They don't need their leader anymore, and they can all go out and create their own followers. So the whole idea, and you see this in modern day with the safe spaces and the left wing, and probably the worst place in the world, Berkeley, West Coast America, where you can't say anything that I'm going to disagree with because it upsets me. So all these people, their education or their ideas are being given by a bad leader or some leader where they're all getting that information in a Soiviv. Oh, I like the idea of social justice, so therefore whatever she does I'm going to hold, but you actually have no connection to that whatsoever because there's no internalization process. Therefore, as soon as somebody confronts your point, confronts your idea, so then you're just going to crumble. So it's like if I said, well, Waze told me go left here, and a guy who creates maps said that's a stupid idea, or he's the head of traffic, whatever, so then I have nothing to say to him because it's all my whole information is on a Soviv level. So it's this is the lack of internalization, lack of individuality is creating this. So it's just basically people can just manipulate whoever they want because I'm a follower of this guy, and therefore whatever they say is true because they have no information. They don't understand it. If they did, they wouldn't need their safe spaces, because when somebody challenges them, they'll actually either be excited about it to understand the sugya better, or they won't feel threatened of it because they understand the sugya, know exactly why what they're saying is a good idea. But generally you'll see like people on the left will avoid debates, while people on the right are trying to engage them in a debate to try to show them, because they really believe in what they're saying. They want to show people that what they're saying really doesn't work, but they won't be allowed to because they can't be confronted on their opinions because they don't understand them themselves.